In this life, what is it that you call myself? Is it this body? Is it your thoughts, your emotions, or is it something more? The ancient yogic sciences, the very technology of inner well-being, looked at this question with an incredible depth. They did not just give a simple answer, they mapped the entire human mechanism. This map speaks of the Pancha Koshas, 5 sheaths or layers of the body. You can think of it like the layers of an onion. Most people live and die experiencing only the outermost layer, believing that is all there is to them. They identify so strongly with their physical form, their thoughts, and their feelings that they never look deeper. These 5 sheaths are not just philosophical concepts, they are an experiential reality. From the grossest, the physical body, to the most subtle, the very core of bliss, they veil the ultimate nature of who you are, the Atman, the self, the dimension beyond all physicality and mentality. To mistake any one of these layers for your true self is the fundamental source of all human suffering. It is like a person wearing 5 layers of clothing and believing that they are the clothes. The purpose of the spiritual process is not to add something new to you, but to peel back these layers, to allow you to experience the boundless nature that you already are. So in our journey today, we will take a systematic look at this. We will explore each of these 5 sheaths, one by one. We will start with the most obvious, the body of food, and move inward through the layers of energy, mind, and intellect, until we touch upon the very core of your being, the bliss body. This is not about believing something, it is about turning your attention inward and seeing the composition of your own existence. This is a practical guide to self-realization, a way to navigate the complexities of your own system and find the freedom that lies at the heart of it all. Let us begin with the most fundamental, the most tangible layer of your existence, the Annamaya Kosha. Anna means food. So, this is your food body. What you call as your physical body is essentially just an accumulation of the food you have eaten. If you look at it, this body was not this big when you were born. It is the food, the piece of the planet that you have consumed, that has built this structure. This is the most gross, the most dense of the 5 sheaths. It is your vehicle in this world, the instrument through which you perceive and interact with everything around you. Your senses, sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch are all functions of this physical sheath. It is a beautiful and complex piece of machinery, but it is still just that, a machine made of earth. The mistake most of humanity makes is to identify completely with this layer. They think, I am the body. When you say this, you are condemning yourself to a life of limitation. The body has its own compulsions: hunger, thirst, sleep, procreation, and ultimately, decay and death. If your entire identity is invested in the physical, then fear of death becomes a constant underlying reality. You spend your whole life trying to protect and decorate this heap of food, this temporary arrangement of matter. We are not saying you should neglect the body. No, it is a phenomenal instrument. You must keep it healthy, strong, and clean. A yogi pays immense attention to the body, not because it is him, but because it is his primary tool for experiencing life and for piercing through the other layers. To begin to transcend the Annamaya Kosha, you must start creating a little distance. Simply sit and become aware of the body. Feel the sensations, the weight, the posture. Remind yourself, I have a body, but I am not the body. This is not a philosophy. It is an experiment. When you eat, be conscious that you are adding matter to this physical form. When you walk, be aware that you are moving this body. By cultivating this simple awareness, this disidentification, you take the first and most crucial step. You begin to loosen the grip of the physical, and the possibility of experiencing the deeper dimensions within you opens up. You stop being a slave to the body's compulsions and start becoming its master. Once you create a little space from the physical body, the next layer that you can become aware of is the Pranamaya Kosha. Prana means the vital life force, the fundamental energy that animates the physical form. This is your energy body. Without prana, the physical body is just a corpse, an inert lump of matter. It is prana that makes the heart beat, the lungs breathe, the cells divide, and every physiological process happen. In the yogic system, we have identified 72,000 nadis, or energy channels, through which this prana flows, sustaining the entire system. This Pranamaya Kosha is subtler than the food body, but it is what holds the Annamaya Kosha together and makes it alive. This life energy is not just some vague concept, it is a tangible reality. Have you noticed that on some days you feel vibrant, energetic and alive, and on other days you feel dull, lethargic and heavy, even if you have eaten and slept well? This difference is the quality and distribution of your prana. The breath is the most direct and accessible manifestation of this energy. The way you breathe, the rhythm and depth of your breath has an immediate impact on your pranic system. This is why the science of pranayama, the conscious control and direction of breath, is so central to yoga. By regulating the breath, you can regulate your life energies. When your Pranamaya Kosha is vibrant and flowing freely, your body feels healthy, your mind is clear, and you have a natural sense of aliveness and well-being. But when the flow of prana is disturbed or blocked due to stress, improper lifestyle or emotional turmoil, it manifests as physical and psychological disease. Learning to manage your prana is the key to health and vitality. Simply becoming aware of your breath, feeling the sensation of the air flowing in and out is the first step. You are not just breathing air, you are breathing life. As you bring more consciousness to this process, you start to gain a certain mastery over your own life force, moving you one step closer to your inner core. Deeper still than the body and the energy is the Manomaya Kosha. Manas means mind. This is the mental body. This sheath is composed of your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your memories, really the entire content of your mind. For most people, this is a chaotic and unruly dimension. The mind is constantly chattering, jumping from one thought to another, replaying the past and projecting into the future. It is a non-stop internal monologue, and just as they identified with the physical body, most people identify completely with this mental noise. They believe, I am my thoughts, I am my emotions. This is a more subtle but even more painful form of bondage. Your mind is a powerful tool, but right now, for most people, it is not a tool they wield. Instead, they are being wielded by it. It is like you have a supercomputer, but you have no idea how it works, and it is running all kinds of random programs, causing you endless trouble. The mind is a repository of all your past impressions, your samskaras. Every experience you have ever had is recorded there, and it is this data that constantly colors your perception of the present. You are not seeing life as it is. You are seeing it through the filter of your past. Your joys, your sorrows, your anger, your fears, they are all just activity happening in your Manomaya Kosha. The spiritual process is largely about gaining mastery over this mental sheath. It is about creating a distance between you, the observer, and the activity of the mind. To sit for a few minutes and simply watch the thoughts that come and go, without getting entangled in them, without judging them. To see them as clouds passing in the sky. You are the sky. The thoughts are just clouds. They come and go. When you realize, I have a mind, but I am not the mind, a tremendous freedom arises. You are no longer a slave to every passing thought and emotion. You can use the mind when you need it, and keep it aside when you don't. This is when the mind becomes a miraculous instrument, instead of a source of misery. Beyond the turbulent sea of the ordinary mind, we come to the Vijnanamaya Kosha. Vijnana means a special kind of knowing. It is intellect, wisdom, and discernment. This is not the same as the Manomaya Kosha, which is the processing, thinking mind. Vijnanamaya Kosha is the faculty of discrimination, the part of you that knows, that understands, that has insight. While the Manomaya Kosha is filled with accumulated memory and emotion, the Vijnanamaya Kosha has the capacity for awareness and consciousness. It is the sheath that connects you to a deeper intelligence, beyond mere thought. This intellect is what gives you the ability to distinguish between what is real and what is unreal, what is permanent and what is transient, what is the self and what is the non-self. However, for many people, this sheath is also clouded. Their intellect is identified with their accumulated knowledge, their education, their opinions, and their ego. They believe, I am my intellect, I am my beliefs. When the intellect is used only to dissect the external world, to gather information and form judgments, it remains a limited tool. It can make you clever, but it cannot make you wise. This identification with intellect creates a subtle but very strong form of ego, a spiritual ego even, which can be the biggest barrier on the path. To purify the Vijnanamaya Kosha is to turn this faculty of discernment inward. It is to use your awareness to observe the nature of your own mind, your own energy, your own body. It is the process of viveka, or discrimination. When this sheath is clear, you begin to have moments of insight, of deep knowing that do not come from books or from thinking, but from a direct perception of reality. It is the beginning of true wisdom. You start to see the patterns of your own conditioning. This sheath, when sharpened and turned inward, becomes the very knife that can cut through the remaining layers of illusion, leading you towards the final innermost core of your being. And so we arrive at the innermost core, the most subtle of the 5 sheaths, the Anandamaya Kosha. Ananda means bliss, ecstasy, a joy that is not dependent on any external person, object, or situation. This is the bliss body. It is not happiness, which is a fleeting emotion that comes and goes based on what happens outside of you. Bliss is the very nature of your innermost core. It is the subtlest of all the layers, the final veil that covers the Atman, the true self. This sheath is experienced in moments of deep dreamless sleep, in profound meditation, or in moments of complete absorption where you lose your sense of a separate self. This is the causal body. It is the source from which the other sheaths arise and into which they dissolve. It is a state of pure, uncaused joy. The reason everyone is seeking happiness in the world through relationships, achievements, possessions, is because they have had a taste of this bliss from their own core, perhaps in deep sleep, and they are trying to replicate it on the outside. But external things can only give you fleeting pleasures, not lasting bliss. The bliss is already within you. It is your very nature. The whole spiritual search is a journey back to this source, to experience this Anandamaya Kosha, not just unconsciously in sleep, but in a fully conscious state. However, even this is a sheath. It is a body, a layer. It is the most beautiful and joyful of all the prisons, but it is still a prison. The ultimate goal of the yogi is to transcend even this bliss body, to realize the self, the Atman, which is the witness of even this bliss. To be in bliss is wonderful, but to the source of bliss is liberation. When you touch this dimension within you, you become blissful by your own nature. You are not happy of something. You are simply an overflowing of joy. This is the ultimate possibility for a human being to live in the world, fully engaged but untouched by its turmoil, established in the boundless joy of your own being. So we have journeyed from the gross to the subtle, from the food on your plate to the very bliss of your core. This understanding of the Pancha Koshas is not just an intellectual exercise, it is a practical map for your inner journey. By recognizing these 5 layers, the physical, the energetic, the mental, the intellectual, and the blissful, you begin to see that you are not any one of them. You are the one who is aware of all of them. This simple recognition is the beginning of disidentification, the beginning of freedom. When you are no longer hopelessly entangled with your body, your energy, your mind, or even your bliss, you can start to live with a profound sense of ease and clarity. This is a call to become an inner explorer, a scientist of your own interiority. Take some time to reflect. Which sheath do you identify with the most? Is it your physical appearance, your energy levels, your racing thoughts and emotions, your opinions and knowledge? By simply observing this, you can begin to bring balance. If you are too stuck in the physical, practices that work with breath and energy can help. If you are lost in the mind, cultivating witness consciousness can bring stillness. The goal is to harmonize all 5 sheaths, so they function as a well-orchestrated symphony, allowing the consciousness that you are to shine through without obstruction. Ultimately, this journey through the koshas is a journey home. It is a process of peeling back the layers of mistaken identity to reveal the boundless, luminous self that you have always been. It is about moving from a limited, fragmented existence to a state of unified, limitless consciousness. Do not just believe this, experiment with it. Turn your attention inward. The greatest adventure is not in climbing mountains or exploring oceans, but in discovering the vast universe that lies within you. May you walk this path with courage and awareness, and may you come to know the incredible being that you are.